to another day of Gamescom. Today is insane, there are so many people, but if you do end up enjoying this video, please smack the like button, and we've got a bunch of stuff. First off, let's get to this. Alright, and here we are with Lars Gustafsson from DICE. Now, Battlefield 1, amazing. I was shocked when that first trailer came out, then got to play it yesterday, and I'm just blown away. Love playing on the horse, by the way. It's just something about being on that horse and just, or even just shooting people. For some reason, I find it easier to shoot off of a horse than I do on ground. I don't know, it's just me, I'm weird. But what made you guys decide to go with World War I over World War II, which is what many people thought you might do?
I think it's a good question. I mean, when we finished Battlefield 4 and the studio had been making contemporary warfare for basically since Bad Company 1 back in 2008, and we felt that we need more gameplay opportunities. So we looked around, really, like I said, to someone from the Roman Empire into future space to see what fits the Battlefield formula. And it quickly came about that some folks in the studio had been pitching World War I already in 2008, but now they had refined the concept and the time was right. So we dug deeper and kind of they challenged our preconceptions of what this war was really, since for a lot of people the perception is that it's trenches and it's single-bolt action rifles and very slow and doesn't suit the Battlefield game. But as we dug deeper, it was clear that this spanned the world and it was far from just something slow.
Was it challenging though, because you'd have to go back 100 years compared to many games, many shooters that are going now into the future, because it allows for so much more creative freedom, like doing your own thing, but to really stick to that World War I scenario, was that challenging to be creative in that?
It's been challenging from one point, since, to be honest, there were so many gameplay opportunities that surfaced, but in the almost desperate need to come up with solutions to either break through or defend yourself, so many inventions surfaced when we looked at it that we said to ourselves, if we put this in front of gamers, they will think we're lying. And some of them were super hard to turn into good Battlefield gameplay. So it's really been about making the most of the era, and where we have differences, like often bring up the tanks, that today there is a formula for tanks. It's tracks and it's a rotating turrets, and that's the most effective. But during these times, that's only one of the tanks represented. The other ones had sponson on the side, one had guns all around, but we turned that into variety in gameplay instead. So you're kind of forced to choose one way with their strength and weakness, which is really the Battlefield formula, rock, paper, scissors.
Now, since it is set in World War I, how will attachments work? Will it be limited to the weapons?
So in general, we haven't gone into depth around how you can customize weapons, but in general, weapons will come with different patterns, providing you possibilities of customizing weapons. But also in general, we've tried to help the players more with the understanding of what it actually does to your weapon.
Mortar strikes, how are they going to work? Are they going to be for everyone, or will it be just one type of class that can use them, or how will it work?
There's different types of mortars. There's mortars connected to armored trains, there's mortars connected to vehicles, there's mortars connected to the support class. We're still tweaking and tuning, so we're taking in all the feedback from here and from the upcoming closed beta, or open beta, sorry. It's very much open for all of you. So, but right now, yes, we have it on the support class.
Yeah. And finally, as I did mention at the start of this interview, I love the horses. How did you go about, and how are you going about still balancing the horses? Because you are technically a large target, you're huge, and you don't really have any armor or anything like that. So you can die quickly, but you might have to be a bit more powerful than just on foot. So what is that like to balance something that's completely different to what you've ever done?
It's tricky. I mean, horse was the word that came up immediately when we started this era, and for a long time actually we hesitated because of the technical challenges of getting it in, but having one, if not the best game team out there in the world building this, they really went about it. And in the end, what we've done is we created a dedicated cavalry class, just like the tanker, pilot and the regular classes. So you spawn in, you get your horse, it's fragile, as you say. For you as a soldier, we gave you a chest plate to allow you to take a bit more. But really the secret here is we try to create a living beast, so it will try to steer off from targets or obstacles, it will try to jump over them and sometimes even refuse. But in all of this, it's important for you as a cavalry reinforcement to maintain speed at all times. Since you can support the troops with health and ammo, you have your medium-range rifle, so you can be competitive. But when you see a tank, for example, it's maintaining the speed. You can circle them. You have the 80 grenades, but stay away from the cannons. And in the end, you can also then go charging the trenches or the enemy lines with either trampling down people or using the saber. So as long as you stay moving, you should be reasonably good. But yes, that's Battlefield in all.
Sandstorms, you'd be pretty.
Sandstorms, yes. Sandstorms is a good hiding place, and those snipers will have a harder time seeking you down. So, and that's a good bridge actually in that dynamic battlefield where with the rock paper scissors, and the one that really wins the battle is the one that not only master weapons and gadgets and the infantry gameplay like in other shooters, but here is also the vehicle gameplay. It is the destruction to use the new and more consistent and elaborate destruction system we have to your advantage. You get scoring for kind of rip down the corners of a building and see it collapse on someone, now in different ways every time. You get scoring for it and use the sandstorm and so on to your advantage, which means that if you use this not only as it looks cool, but actually you manage to master them, then you will be a much better player on the battlefield.
Awesome. Thank you for the interview, Lars. Now we're going to go check out some Gears of War 4. Boom. First place. There we go. Did it. Full concentration mode. Forza champion right here. So we just had a look at Forza Horizon 3 and I actually got to see part of the map. This was behind closed doors, it's not like the other stuff, but I also got to record some gameplay. Now, what you see on screen here is the stuff I recorded. However, the main thing is I also got to see the map of Australia, which is not exactly Australia, but it is pretty damn awesome and it is huge. It's twice as big as the last game, Horizon 2. So that's one of the most important things. It's huge and it feels huge. There are so many different parts. I saw Western Australia, Northern Territory, I saw the Gold Coast, Surfers Paradise. It was really, really awesome and I love this game, and on top of that, it also does bring back the 1,000 player clubs, so you can have those and it can expand on that, and it's just freaking awesome right there. But also, some tech news right here. The frame rate on the PC version of the game is unlocked. So if you have a 144 Hz monitor, you'll be sweet. Now on top of that, the game does run in 4K, so it does look pretty damn nice. And we saw it in a huge like 65-inch TV, and my mind was just blown. So this game, Forza Horizon 3, I just can't wait for it. It's just around the corner. But now, let's move on to the next game. So I just saw Dead Rising 4 behind closed doors. The other day I actually got to record a little bit of it, and it's a pretty damn awesome game. The customizable feature, like all the weapons and everything, and then there's also this exosuit in there. It gets crazy. I thought Dead Rising 3 was going to be like it. Like, you couldn't get crazier than this game, but Capcom seemed to just be going, hey, can we just get even more insane? And they just do, and it just is such a fun time. On top of just like weapon customization and crazy things like that, there is visceral kills, and basically I saw this one moment which just like split a zombie in half. It's just totally brutal and I love it. And another thing, I know a lot of you guys play games with your friends online. You can actually play this game co-op 4 players online. It's just an awesome feature right there. So the map in Dead Rising 4 is a similar size to Dead Rising 3, however it's a lot more explorable. There's just a lot more to find. There's more levels that you can go into. For example, the mall is just huge in this game, and there are different parts of the mall and they're all themed differently, which is really cool. And I'm just excited to see how they show that in the game, and I can't wait till this game does finally come out. And just a final note here at the end, the game does run really smooth. I saw it and I believe you guys said it's unlocked frame rate on PC, and it looks gorgeous. We saw what was on a medium maybe machine right there, so it's basically something that would be like an Xbox One console, and it runs really smooth, especially with the amount of zombies that are on screen, and it just looks like a great game. So Dead Rising 4, I can't wait for it. And there we have it, another day wrapped up at Gamescom. As you see, it's pretty much empty now. You can see over this way, it's clearing out. It has been a busy day. I'm actually flying home to Australia tomorrow, and yeah. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Please smack the like button if you did, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.